What's up? This is BreakmanX, and welcome to the game show on February 25th, 2026. How's it going, Jack?
It's going great. It is Resident Evil Requiem Eve, and I am totally excited to hopefully play it this weekend.
Requieming. And Jess, how are you doing this evening?
I am also doing good, excited about Resident Evil coming out tomorrow. I have almost gotten everything off of my plate. I've got like a couple things left to finish tomorrow, and then I can hopefully sit down and finish it in 2 days before I get busy again.
Awesome.
Good luck.
I also hope to be able to play. And Logan in the bottom right this evening. How are you doing?
Doing good. It's been a good week. And coming off of winning American Advertising Award, which was fun.
Yeah.
That was cool.
And well
also,
deserved.
Thank you. And I'm also pretty hyped about the Backrooms trailer that was released this week. I've been waiting for that movie. It's going to be so much fun.
This is a good year for movies. There's like a lot of movies.
It very much is.
Yeah.
There's a lot of movies to see.
And the Mortal Kombat 2 trailer.
Yeah,
We'll
Mortal Kombat 2 trailer.
Yeah.
I just watched it right before the show, thanks to Max for posting it, and Jack for salivating over it and making me watch it before the show.
I don't know what to say. I mean, Carl Urban is like the perfect Johnny Cage. What else is there to really say? And yeah,
Yes.
they know what they're doing. The filmmakers know what they're doing.
Yes, which
We
isn't
love
always
that.
the case with us. So.
Not always.
Not always. But the game, since 2002, the game shows a celebration of video games and our collective interests mixed with a healthy dose of humor. And tonight we're going to be attacking Resident Evil. You guys didn't see it in the intro, but I go, Resident Evil Show. I love that.
Yeah.
I've always loved the corniness of that.
It's so great. I'm really sad that they kind of got away from it with the recent remakes.
I know. Yeah. No, me too. But we're coming to you for the first time via fiber. So we're it's like 50,000 megabits going out to you, which is YouTube. Basically YouTube's their maximum is 51. But I was like, I'll give them a little headroom there. And they keep saying, hey, this is a lot higher than your usual upload. Like, are you okay?
Yeah, it is.
But we have 0 dropped frames. Usually we have like a couple by this point, thanks to cable. So everything is good to go. But with that, let's go ahead and dive into Jack's quick news.
I don't know if it's going to be so quick this time. There's a lot of news this week, man.
Lengthy news.
Well, let's start off with the biggest news, I think. Xbox had a huge shakeup last Friday. Phil Spencer's been heading the Xbox division for like the last 10 years, basically since the Xbox One came out, floundered, and then he kind of when they kicked Don Matrick to the curb, they kind of put him on top, and he's been with the division since its inception. So like he's a gamer, like he very much cares about the business. But yeah, they announced his retirement. He announced his retirement. Microsoft also announced that Sarah Bond was leaving and was going somewhere else.
Who is supposed to be the protege, right?
Yeah, Sarah Bond was kind of like his heir apparent, if you will. She was making a lot of, she was the person they were putting out in public appearances in lieu of Phil recently. Like for the last almost a year, she's been the one that's kind of been out front and center whenever Xbox has anything going on. So really surprising to see that she kind of was not named the next head of Xbox, if you will. To that end, Asha Sharma, who is she's been with Microsoft for a while. She was, before being named to this role, she was the CEO, or not CEO, she was the head of Core AI for Microsoft, which I'm not sure what exactly that means from an AI perspective, but Core AI.
Apparently it's not like the AI, and I could be wrong with this, but from what I've read, it's not like the AI that we hate. It's more like the stuff that's built into like cloud stuff like Azure and stuff like that.
Okay.
And not necessarily generative art stuff.
Gotcha. But yeah, she has been head of Core AI for Microsoft for some time. and now she's going to be taking over the Xbox division. And yeah, I've seen varying takes. I think one of the more concerning ones I saw was a lot of the interactions she's had on X about birth rates and some of the stuff there, which is concerning. What? Oh yeah, basically like just this shy of eugenics talk. So
oh no,
not great. But yeah, it's a little concerning.
Well, at least she's a big gamer, right?
You know, her welcome message was, I've seen various takes on it, and I think the one I've seen that I think sticks with me the most is it's kind of sad. Like, I think Jeff Gersman's take was one of the ones that kind of stuck with me. He said, you know, back in when Vince McMahon was running the WWE, he would never say anybody was wrestling, and nobody was a wrestler. Everybody was a sports entertainer. And like, if you said the word wrestling, it was a big no-no. And like, so when they wanted to make a point, people would say, I'm a wrestler, just to kind of get people upset. And like in her opening, or not her opening statement, but like her like hello message to all the Xbox team, she basically says, we're not going to fill this thing with AI slop. And I'm like, that's like exactly what Satya Nadella was saying. Don't say AI slop anymore. Like, please don't associate that with this. And I was like, it screams like this is a really bad pick and we really need to get away from this as soon as possible. But
yeah,
I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt. Some of the personal / online stuff seems a little concerning, but like, we'll see. You know, if anything else, you know, I hope for the best. There's still new hardware coming out, as far as I know, but you know, we'll see. This could be the end of Xbox, like more of a definitive nail in the coffin than anything else.
I mean, I've heard, and these are just rumors, so don't take these as take it with a grain of salt. But I've heard that she's kind of there to sunset the brand, like as not being a gamer, but to kind of shepherd it into the night and then transition them into like game publisher rather than hardware. Kind of basically Sega.
Yeah. I saw some of Seamus Blackley's stuff too, and the Tom Warren interview on The Verge. Like, yeah, it's not great.
And yeah, so Seamus, one of the original Xbox people, is saying that that's what's happening. So it's not like it's coming from some random schmo. It's coming from, you know, someone that might know. But again, nothing's solidified. Something great could happen. It doesn't seem that way. It's kind of a bummer that Sarah Bond didn't get to take over, since she'd been working for so long and all of that. And it kind of feels like it was taken from her a little bit.
Yeah, but I mean, if she wasn't the right fit, she wasn't the right fit. So like, you know, I don't know what
think
the
she's the right fit
were.
for what they want. Yeah, I think. But yeah.
Oh well.
I again, like I said in the past, I think the Xbox brand is a good one to be around. So whatever they do with it, I hope they find a way to keep it around.
Yeah, I mean,
in some way.
Yeah, I mean, of all the other brands that Microsoft has, Windows, Office, Azure, it's probably like the number one thing where there's still some consumer sentiment that's generally positive around it, right?
Yeah, they've really tanked everything.
Yep.
Seriously, yeah.
Which is unfortunate. Supposedly Windows, you know, I've been crapping on Windows. Windows is supposedly going to get a lot of great updates this year. I'm going to hold out hope for that, and that's going to be true. They're going to make it like not terrible soon.
They finally noticed that people were upset with them.
Well, it's they saw the numbers go down
it's the year of Linux and gaming, man.
Yep. As they
peered in this time,
as they peered out into their telemetry and like connected to your computer and looked at the screenshots they take without your permission, they noticed that they could spy less.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Linux is pretty rad. If it had NVIDIA broadcast, that'd be my sole thing.
Right.
Yeah. Can't win them all. But yeah, so we'll see what happens there. But definitely a huge shakeup over there at Microsoft this past week. In other disappointing news, Blue Point Games, makers of the recent, I guess I shouldn't say recent, but they were the ones that developed the Demon's Souls remake that launched alongside the PS5. They've been shut down by Sony
and the Shadow of the Colossus. But that was PS4.
Yes, the Shadow of the Colossus remake. They also did one other one too.
Sony bought them. Sony
Yeah.
bought them, and they weren't able to release anything. Like they didn't.
Well, supposedly they were working on like a God of War multiplayer game as part of their live service game stuff, and Blue Point was the one that wanted to do that. It wasn't like Sony just came in and said, at least from what I understand, Sony didn't say you're going to do a God of War multiplayer game. They had a pitch, they sold it to Sony, and Sony was like, okay, let's do this. And I guess that thing just kind of petered out.
I just think it's a bummer that they like bought the company. They didn't get to release a game, and now they're all out of a job. But
yeah,
it made me more excited about PC gaming. Like for me right now, we'll see how it goes, but it's basically Nintendo and PC.
Yeah. Yep. So we'll see, but definitely disappointing. Anytime people lose their jobs, but shutting down the entire studio is just really, really a shame.
It's a bummer.
Yeah. And they did good work too. Like, I mean, the Shadow of the Colossus remake was great. The Demon's Souls remake was amazing. Like, those guys did some really good work. So just a shame to see it.
Yes. And I should say really quick, if you want to comment and join the conversation, please comment below on our YouTube. I read those during the week too. So don't think can't do it later. Also, of course, give us a like and a subscribe. We'd really like to bump those numbers up. So make us feel good.
Yeah. So next, Discord, not necessarily gaming related, but gaming adjacent related. Discord is delaying their global age verification system because guess what? It had flaws and nobody's happy with it. So not a whole bunch to say here, but I'm glad they're kind of postponing it. Hopefully they outright cancel it. But with some of the legislation going on around in the EU, I kind of understand they've got to do something.
There's a lot of negative pushback towards this. A lot of people all over were looking at like alternatives. There's really nothing centralized. There's some open source stuff. There's some other things that you can do, but so far there's nothing that really does everything that Discord does.
Yeah. Yeah. And until I think that system comes out or that platform, breaks through, I think people are going to stick with Discord until
Discord's great. I mean, this isn't great. Like these decisions aren't great, but Discord as a software is, insofar of all of the different communication software, I think is by far the best.
Yeah. Yep. Agreed.
Yeah.
And if you want to join our Discord, go to BreakmanX.com and you can click Discord at the top.
Yeah. Let's see. Next up, as we mentioned at the top of the show, the Mortal Kombat 2 trailer 2 is out. If you haven't watched it, go check it out. Like I said, I think they're hitting all the right notes. Carl Urban as Johnny Cage is great.
Cage.
The actors they've got for Katana, for Scorpion, for Raiden all look great. Like they've got Kano from the not the first movie, but from the one from 2022. They've got that Kano back. I'm very much looking forward to seeing this in theaters.
Me too.
Yeah, I can't wait for April to get here.
Yeah.
I'm so glad they delayed it. I think the extra time is going to be great.
Yeah, it's good. I'm sure we'll probably, except for our youngest, I'll go see it together because everyone in the family, like BreakmanX loved it so much that when her mom came to visit, that was the movie she wanted to show her. So you got to see Mortal Kombat, and she liked it. So
that's all. That's awesome. Also exciting news and also game show related news. The Marvel Maximum collection was announced today. It's coming from Limited Run Games, and our guest from last week, Jeremy Parrish, worked on it too.
Yes,
nice.
Which I just found out today. So it is going to be a collection of Marvel video games, including the Konami X-Men arcade game, the 6-player arcade game, the Data East classic Captain America and the Avengers, which is probably my favorite Marvel arcade game of all time, just because it has some of the best announcing in video games. Like just that guy going, "Avengers Assemble" is just incredible.
No!
Yes, exactly. Oh, it's so great. So bad. Yep. So just for that alone, I cannot wait for it. But it also has other games like Spider-Man and Venom, Maximum Carnage, Spider-Man Venom, Separation Anxiety, like from the Super Nintendo and Genesis. The banger Spider-Man and X-Men in Arcade's Revenge, which, if you've played it, you know I'm being incredibly facetious there.
Bad.
That game is terrible.
I want it to be good. I saw it on the advertisement for the Pride of the X-Men. Like Shadow had that VHS and we're watching it. And I was like, whoa, Marvel video game. This is going to be great. And it was not.
Nope. The sign out front LJN should have told you.
Yeah. Yeah. I wasn't, because I liked the Jaws game. I like the new Jaws game that Jeremy worked on much better. But I did like the original Jaws game. And that was LGN. That's like the one LGN game I ever liked.
Yeah. It's there. The quality is not particularly high when they're involved. And then finally, Silver Surfer for the NES. So
easy game.
It's a solid collection. I mean, they're not all amazing, but like there's 2-3 games in there that are really high quality and really fun to play. So if you're a big arcade fan, I would certainly Marvel arcade fan, I should say, you should definitely check it out.
And the X-Men, the arcade game, at least that one has online multiplayer as well.
Exactly. Yes.
So that will be.
And I apologize if I keep going off camera. My nose has been running all evening. I just started to get a head cold. So, yay.
That's not fun.
No, I think it's all the shifting weather out here. Just allergies are just kicking my butt.
Yeah. Either that or you're torturing someone off camera. Whatever we choose to believe.
Could be. You don't know what's over there. Let's see. So next up, Insomniac's Wolverine game got a release date, September 15th, 2026. So everybody that is excited for that thing, it's coming soon. I'm very, very excited for it. Insomniac Spider-Man games have been great. I honestly I don't think I've played a bad Insomniac game. So bring it on. I'm excited to get into the claws of Logan.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked for that one too. Yeah. X-Men are my favorite. All the X-Men.
Yep. And then I don't know if we've talked about it yet or not, but Resident Evil Requiem's out tomorrow. I don't know what else to say. Reviews are starting to come in. It looks great. And that's the main reason we are talking about Resident Evil tonight. Yeah. No, super stoked. It looks great. The reviews are great. BreakmanX keeps getting so like, are we going to get it right away? Or he knows me too well. If it tells you anything, like I said, I've got to travel this weekend, so I'm loading it onto my my Steam Deck, and so hopefully it plays decently. The other RE Engine games have been fine on it, so my fingers are crossed. I just don't know how long the battery's going to last on that thing. And well, so I ran 100-foot HDMI cable, fiber optic, no lag, from my PC to the TV in the other room, which I like, and it's great. It's like a console basically, but like way more powerful. And I also finagled a way to get my controller to work on it. So I'm pretty excited. Nice. It actually works really well. I was kind of surprised. There's like a multi-monitor tool someone made, so I don't have to unplug things. I can just disable it. Oh, nice. And then when I want to do it again, I just enable it. And then, yeah. That's cool. Say, Jess, I think you've got some news stories too for this week. Yeah.
So on top of Resident Evil coming out this week, we also have a couple anniversaries happening in the next couple days. So the first one and the big one is Pokemon turns 30 on Friday.
Wild.
Wow.
Which is insane.
That is crazy.
So they're having isn't it? Just goes to show that all the best things happened in 1996. All the best things were created.
I still can't believe that I was that old when the first one came out. I thought I was like 10, maybe 12, but like when you say it like that, I'm like, I was 14 when that came out. Ugh. As I turned to dust.
Yeah.
I was in 8th grade. Wait, it came out in 96?
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I didn't play it right away then, because I didn't play it until 8th grade, and that would have been 98. My mind is blown. Maybe I got it and then just didn't play it for a couple years.
Could be.
I don't know.
Maybe. So they're doing a Pokemon Presents on Friday, February 27th at 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then immediately after, they are releasing Fire Red and Leaf Green on the Switch. And it seems like it's not going to be any kind of like a remake. It's pretty much just a port with some of the like social aspects going to the Switch capabilities.
I'll be kind of honest with you. I was really disappointed they didn't just add it to the Game Boy Advance Virtual Console and that they're making them like paid downloadable games. But
You make more
it's
money.
Pokemon, so like, I mean, what are you going to do?
Admittedly, as someone who doesn't have Switch Online at the moment, it's kind of nice so that I can just have the game.
Yeah, for sure. They did add
Good for Logan.
They did add Fire Red and Leaf Green to the Nintendo Music app. So I was excited.
I love
about
the Nintendo Music app, by the way. I wish there was more stuff like that to easily access game music.
I just wish they would just say, okay, here's everything else. Like we've trickled it out long enough. Just here's everything.
No, that would definitely be better. But I just like game music is not super. I mean, it's gotten better, but I just wish it was even better. I don't know. Sometimes stuff's hard to find. Did we decide what Pokemon game I need to play first? Was it Crystal?
Emerald.
I think.
Emerald.
Yeah, Emerald's a good one.
Emerald's the one?
It's probably the best.
Okay. And which
David's
system is
probably
it
the
on?
best, yeah.
It's Game Boy Advance.
Oh, even better. Okay. All right. Pokemon Emerald. That's going to be the one I dive into.
Nice.
Yeah. So I was super excited about it, so much so that I was like, I'm going to get something for myself. So I bought a fake Lego Pokedex thing that I made the other day.
Awesome. Did you see the one of the Pokemon Lego things that they announced was the one that had all the gym badges in it, like the case with all the gym badges? I was like, okay, I kind of want to get
that Lego
one.
stuff is awesome.
Which generation? I'm guessing Gen 1?
Yes. Yeah, it's all the Kanto badges.
That makes sense.
That's sweet.
But that is
so
awesome,
super exciting,
Jess.
and I also know that they're planning on like releasing a bunch of stuff throughout the year for 30-year anniversary. But everything major starts the rollout on Friday. And then moving on to the second anniversary that's happening this week, which is Stardew Valley's 10-year anniversary is tomorrow. I mentioned this on a show a couple weeks ago, but Concerned Ape is working on the 1.7 updates, and he's going to announce tomorrow who the 2 new marriage candidates are going to be. And then also, I believe it was today they announced, or yesterday, I think, that Fangamer announced that they are going to be streaming the Stardew Valley Symphony of Seasons concert tomorrow on their YouTube at 6 p.m. Pacific time.
Oh, that's awesome.
So if you're a fan of, the symphony versions of video game music and the Stardew Valley music, which I think is phenomenal, I would highly recommend checking that out.
Fabulous. That sounds great. Awesome.
Very cool.
Very cool. All right.
Break. You even have some news this week, don't you?
I've got some news. You took my Marvel news, so I'm going to skip that.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I'm just glad it got mentioned. I'm kidding. It's not like it's my news. I'm not like Stan Lee reincarnated or something. But it is cool that Jeremy Parrish worked on it. It's always just fun to have that connection. So Final Fantasy VII PC version, the updated one came out, and it's not well received. It has like a 23% on Steam right now, or at least last time I checked. And basically because it's buggy, all the battles are running at 3 times. So when you because you can activate 3 times speed to go through things faster. So if you activated 3 times speed during the battles, it was 6 times speed. And so it was buggy. The backgrounds aren't upscaled, so they look super fuzzy still. And the mods are gone. So I played it for just a couple minutes. And, it's Final Fantasy VII. There's some really amazing mods for the other one that I kind of miss. I have a question, though. It's not Final Fantasy VII related. Has anyone played the GameCube Resident Evil games on the Steam version, like the 2015?
The Resident Evil 1, yes, I have.
So are the backgrounds like upscaled, or are they super blurry?
They're they're kind of blurry. Like they've done a decent job with the 3D models, but the actual backgrounds are pretty gnarly.
Okay, because I want to go back and play the GameCube version because I love those GameCube ones. We'll get into that in a minute, but I love those GameCube ones. Okay, and Mortal Kombat figure skating. Thanks, Max.
Yeah,
Max sent that into the thing.
Yes.
That was pretty cool.
That was a trip.
Yeah, I could have done without the conversation at the beginning, or maybe that's just part of like what figure skaters do. I don't know. But once they got into the music and they were moving around to it, and they even like had the costumes and stuff. It was pretty cool.
There was one of the was it Kazakhstan's dancer or Kazakhstan's ice skater came out in like a Kung Fu Panda shirt, had the guy from the Mortal Kombat duo come out and like twirl him around, and then also for some reason at the end of it Deadpool was there, and then he hugged Jackie Chan after it was all over. I was
wow.
Like, that's a journey, man.
Yeah.
Pop culture attack.
No, he was the gold medalist. He earned it.
Yeah, I know.
That's great. That's great. All right. Oh, Logan's got some news.
I have news.
What's up, Logan?
So the news I have for this week is that Minecraft Java Edition has announced that they are switching their rendering engine to Vulkan.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool because they've been on OpenGL since 2011, which is wild. And they're switching to Vulkan because it is going to stop being supported on macOS, and they want to keep the game updated moving forward. So it's going to provide a lot of performance benefit. And they're also about to overhaul the whole shader system in the game. So yeah, it's a pretty big evolution for the
Vulkan rocks.
Mm-hmm.
I love the bare metal.
Pretty great.
Yeah.
Rendering.
For
Sweet.
the Minecraft people in the audience.
Oh, I'm sure
there's a lot of them. I'm sure.
There's a few. Yeah. So let's go ahead and dive into Resident Evil. So again, Resident Evil. We're all of us, especially Logan, are big Resident Evil fans. I was trying to get a spit take. I almost got it.
You'll get one day.
Actually, I shouldn't do that because you might ruin something, and I'd feel really bad. I've done a spit take on the show before a long time ago. Jack probably remembers. Yeah. Anyway, Resident Evil's awesome. We're gonna have a great discussion about it. We're all big fans of it. Logan has not played Resident Evil yet, but he's going to be so excited by it by the end of the evening that he's not even going to go to learn. He's not even going to go to bed before he plays one of the Resident Evil games. All right, so let's start out. This is actually maybe for Logan's. This first topic will be right now. So, how did you get introduced to Resident Evil? Is our first topic here. So I had seen a lot Resident Evil. It was promoted pretty heavily back in the day of the PlayStation. Like, or at least I saw it like tons of ads in magazines because I was a huge like video game magazine reader. Mm-hmm. I used to read. I mean, you couldn't always buy all of them, but whenever I could, I would read and there were tons of Resident Evil ads in the magazines. And I was big on IRC, precursor to Discord, back on the day, and everyone was talking about Resident Evil. I've never been into the zombies, like zombie movies or anything like that, at least up until that point. So I wasn't super stoked about it. I just happened to be renting games, and there was nothing to rent, and Resident Evil was there, and I gave it a try, and I rented it, and I was really bad at it. Because it just has a different control scheme than any other game I'd played up until that point. And the first time I rented it, I didn't like it because I was so bad at it. And I mean,
does anybody really like tank controls?
I grew to like it later.
Yeah.
But I mean, because I didn't understand like what it was trying to do, and it was trying to like add to the fear aspect and all that. So I just thought it just wasn't for me. And it wasn't until I rented Resident Evil 2 that I really got into it. And so Resident Evil 2 was really my gateway. And I went back to Resident Evil 1 after I beat Resident Evil 2. But Resident Evil 1 was my slap in the face. And then Resident Evil 2 was kind of like, come on back. And I liked it. And I've liked it ever since.
That's awesome.
How about you, Jack?
So you came to it originally when it first came out.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, back on the PlayStation.
All right. Yeah. So I had a similar introduction to the series. So I had never really seen any zombie movies. I had heard of the concept of zombies, but you think back to 1996, 97 when it came out. Really all it was George Romero's stuff, and then like Return of the Living Dead, and that was really about it. Maybe some of the Dario Argento stuff over in Europe, but other than that, wasn't really a big zombies fan or just that style of horror at all. But I always saw the box art, the case for Resident Evil. Anytime I would go into the Blockbuster after the PS1 came out, and you just see it's like that mansion room with the camera pointed up, looking at I would assume is Chris, with that really weird like one eye, like extremely large for some reason, just looks completely disheveled, and he's got that machine gun in his hand or a shotgun in his hand. I'm just like, okay, what is this game? And the next thing I knew, I was over at a sleepover at a friend's house, and like it's me and like 5 other guys, and we popped it in. We were playing, I want to say we were playing something like X Games or Wipeout most of the night, and then we switched over to Resident Evil, and like we were joking and everybody was super loud, and all of a sudden it just got dead quiet. Like you could hear a pin drop. Everybody was just kind of on their hands and knees, just kind of like waiting to see what was going to happen next, especially after the incredible opening cutscene where you see everybody running to the house. I mean, and the intros and everything, man, it's
Amazing
such an
acting.
experience. And then you see that first zombie huddled over the dead body, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, all right, here we go. And yeah, it gets pretty fun pretty quick. We made it, man. We played that game one of us played that game for I think 3 hours. We finally went to bed at like, I don't know, 1 or 2 a.m. But we got all the way up to where the hunters showed up, and they were just like, oh, he can kill you with one hit. Well, that was fun. and yeah, came back to it later, but yeah, that was my introduction to Resident Evil. It was very, very tense, especially for a game. There wasn't really anything like it at that time. Maybe Clock Tower, but even still, it was a different type of horror than I had really been experienced.
Yeah. I mean, I learned a little bit about it later. They're trying to do Sweet Home, basically.
Yeah.
They're trying to remake Sweet Home. And Shinji Mikami was picked because he didn't like horror. And he was scared of everything. And they wanted someone that would be scared of what they were making. I thought that's kind of a cool aspect of it. Max writes in, I knew of it, but I didn't start playing it until Resident Evil 7. I heard 6 was bad, and before 7 came out, I started playing brave enough to play horror games. Yeah, that was another mistake I made when I rented it. Was our PlayStation was in the basement, and so I was all alone down there playing it, and it did like definitely made it like scarier.
Oh yeah,
playing it all alone down there at that age, especially, was pretty creepy. But yeah, all right, Jess, how did you get introduced to Resident Evil?
Yeah, the first one that I played was the remake of one on the GameCube.
Yes,
And
that's great.
I remember
I love that one.
it was so good. It was such a good intro. I fell in love immediately. I remember we rented it, and I was probably too young to have been playing it.
How old were you? Just curious.
But my dad, definitely not older than 8.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Okay.
wow. Yeah.
Wow. Good for you. I wouldn't have been able to do
the
that.
oldest I would have been.
Braver than me.
And my dad's like, oh, hell yeah. I love horror stuff. What are parental advisories and game ratings? Those don't
Suggestions.
And so we rented it, and I fell in love immediately. It was, the first like actually scary game I think I ever played. And I have just played so many horror games since. It was really the gateway drug to the main thing that I play nowadays. Yeah.
I love that that's your introduction to it. I still remember that coming out for GameCube and how amazing it looked. Like, it's hard to explain, I think, unless you were there, but like that game looked like generations ahead. Like, it looked amazing. They did a really good job with the pre-rendered backgrounds, mixing in the stuff. Because that was the game, I'm pretty sure that was the game that got Richie to buy a GameCube.
Yeah. It came out right before I went home from my sophomore year of college, and I was like, I'm not going to get a GameCube. Or no, I had a GameCube, but I was just like, I don't know if I need this thing. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, this thing looks incredible. Why are we not putting more games out on this thing?
I know. I was trying to tell you how great the GameCube was, but Nintendo was like, yeah, we're not going to put any games.
That was before we met.
What? Oh, wait.
Yeah, that was when I was at UK.
Oh, so it was the next semester. Okay. I keep forgetting that we didn't meet that first semester.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay. And Logan, you've been introduced to it tonight.
Yes, I have been introduced to it tonight. I've technically heard of it occasionally, sporadically before, but this will be my first deep dive.
Yeah,
gotcha.
I think.
What was your first exposure to it? Like, when did you first hear?
It's hard to remember. I think probably in some random like video essays about Nintendo games on YouTube. I think was when I first heard whispers of Resident Evil.
Gotcha.
We'll get down to the one that you should start with here in a little bit, because I do think that you would like it. They're well-made games. Like, that's the thing. Because I still don't like zombie movies. They just don't interest me. There's nothing wrong with them.
I haven't seen many zombie movies.
There's like 28 Days Later. I remember a loose cannon, like, maybe watched that so many times, and I just
Shaun of the Dead.
But that's like funny. That's a comedy. It's different. Train
to Busan.
Yeah, Train to Busan.
Train to Busan's amazing.
True.
This is a good movie.
True.
Don
But at any rate,
great.
I don't think you need to love zombies to love Resident Evil, because I think it's well made.
Oh, no.
Nah.
Is the point I was trying to make. So.
That's good.
Okay. So, favorite memory from Resident Evil. So again, I have to go back to one of my favorite memories of all gaming. I'll try to get a little bit more detailed with it, since I've told it before, and something I haven't said about it. But it's Resident Evil Code Veronica.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And, I was super stoked to buy it, because and come home and play it. And so the game opens up with that amazing cutscene, and the cutscene was so much higher quality than the previous Resident Evil games had been.
Yeah.
Like, it was really high quality cutscene, and it was super action packed. And, so I mentioned before, it was the first game that my wife and I played together. But along with that, it was kind of, we hadn't been together very long. It was kind of when I found out that she was a gamer as well, because we went back to her house and she was telling her mom and like her brother how cool the game was. And I was like, oh, so she wasn't just being nice. So it was like that discovery of her explaining how cool it was is my favorite memory.
That's awesome. That's very cool.
Yes.
Yeah, Resident Evil is one of those games where my wife does not like. She likes Mario Kart, but like if I sit down and start playing a Resident Evil game, she will usually kind of slide over and just say, "What you playing?" And then she will watch me. She'll watch me play until like something like splatters all over the wall. She's like, "I'm out." But she does enjoy just the tense atmosphere in all of them.
Yeah. A close second was the 2 remake. That was what got BreakmanX into it. The whole family was watching me play that one.
It's a really good one. And
all right.
If you like that one, you should watch me play it on our YouTube channel.
You should. You should all watch Jack play through all the Resident Evil games. Retrospective. It's fun.
I'm almost done with the second run with Leon on the RE2 remake. So I think maybe 1 or 2 more sessions. We'll see how things go. Anyway,
cool.
So talking about favorite Resident Evil memories. So my favorite Resident Evil memory with the game series is the original Resident Evil 2 on PlayStation. I had rented a PlayStation myself, rented RE2, I had played it a few times at a friend's house during a sleepover, and like we had played it all the way through. I think we played through Leon's first run and finished the game, and then we realized, oh my god, you can play through this a second time as Claire and get different things that happen during the game. This is awesome, and so we didn't obviously have the time to do that. It basically took us all night without sleeping to get through that first playthrough. So anyway, at any rate, months later, rented it, played Claire first, got to Leon's second story, beat the blob Dr. Birkin at the end for the true ending of the game, and thought it was just the coolest thing ever. And I felt so relieved that I finished it and I had seen everything. And then it was one of my, like, from a gaming perspective, that's one of my favorite accomplishments ever in a video game, just beating that stupid thing, because it was so long and it was so, to me, it's real difficult just because of the ammo scarcity and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Finishing that silly game was very satisfying.
I love when they throw you like the grenade launcher in the Resident Evil games, like at the end.
It's so great.
Like, all right, you've beaten him now, just blow it up.
Yep. Just like, here, take this. It's like, oh, where was this 5 hours ago?
Yeah, it's like your celebration firework.
Yeah. Without a doubt.
All right, Jess, what's your favorite Resident Evil memory?
I don't know if I have any like two specific ones, honestly. Video games tend to be a very solo activity for me, so it's usually me just like hunched over a laptop or in front of a TV playing games by myself. But I do think any of the ones that I played on that GameCube were especially fun because the GameCube existed in my room, and I had a TV that had a headphone jack. And so I would frequently, after everyone else had gone to bed as a child, boot it up and play like in the middle of the night when I should have been sleeping. Mm-hmm. And there's something about, the atmosphere on top of just the phenomenal atmosphere in the games, but also being alone in a house where everyone is asleep and it's dark and you're like sitting
Spooky.
2 inches from the TV screen.
Yeah.
There was just a lot of fun.
Nice.
It's great. Yeah, I would say most of my gaming is solitary too. It's really only like when I was real little playing with friends, and then like when BreakmanX plays with me, but otherwise it's pretty much, well, I'm BreakmanX. Okay. But like up until that, like for a lot of it was because I'm really more of a single player person is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm multiplayer all the way. I almost always try to grab a friend and play a multiplayer game.
See, there you go. That's the other perspective. But I think you like Resident Evil. You would.
I think I would. I like single player games. I'm just all about like playing with friends.
Yeah. Playing with friends is great too. Mm-hmm. I just always tend to like focus on the story games.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on to which ones have you played? Which ones have you finished? I have played 1 through 4, the originals. Okay. I've played Veronica, obviously. I've played 0 on the GameCube. The Resident Evil 1 remake on the GameCube. Resident Evil 2 remake. And Resident Evil 8 Village. And I've played 7.
Okay.
And I've played 5 and 6, but I have not beaten them. I just was not. I don't like those.
It's understandable.
I started them. Which the multiplayer one is that 5?
Yeah. 5 and 6 are both co-op.
Okay, yeah, I tried both of those with Mecha, and both of us started hitting it pretty quickly.
Really? See, like 5 is kind of weird. It's definitely faster paced, but I always thought that 5 was still pretty strong. Like it's a lot of fun. It carries over a lot of the framework of 4, but definitely ups the ante a little bit. It does make it a little more actiony, but I kind of like that to an extent.
Maybe I should give it another try. I haven't given it much of a try.
We should do that for a stream sometime.
There you go. That would be fun. I'd be down.
Yep. The Steam
Is it
version
just
works
two?
pretty well. Yeah, it's just 2-player.
Okay, that'd be great though. I'd be down. I'd be
Yeah.
down. All right, Jack, which one haven't you played?
Yeah, so I have played all of them, including like some of the offshoots, like the Umbrella Chronicles or whatever the multiplayer shooter was, and I've even done some of the Resident Evil online games that they had on the PS2 that nobody played. There were 2 of them. So I've played all of
Is
them.
that Outbreak?
Yes, Outbreak 1 and File 2, I believe.
I can say I played it because I played it with you like once.
Yeah, yeah, I think we played through it. The only one I really haven't played is the Game Boy Color Resident Evil. I think it's Resident Evil Gaiden. I think Maximus was talking about it on the chat. But yeah, I have not played that one. I hear it's decent for a Game Boy Color version of the original Resident Evil. I hear it is decent, but I have not played it all the way through, or at all for that matter. As far as which ones I have finished, I will say it's probably, again, a matter of which. It's easier for me to say which ones I haven't finished. And that list is Resident Evil 0 and I think that's it. I think Resident Evil 0 and obviously the Game Boy Color one that I haven't played.
You didn't like 0?
It wasn't that I didn't like 0. I just found it incredibly frustrating. Like the ammo scarcity in 0 is really bad, and some of those leech monsters that you have to fight are just like I had such a hard time with them, and just trying to figure out. I think I was either missing something. I've tried to go back and play it. I've got it on Steam, and for whatever reason, after you get past the first train, and it just kind of goes off the rails for me, and I just. Yeah, no. And yeah, Gun Survivor is pretty good, Max, and Resident Evil Revelations 1 and 2 are both, 1's okay, but 2 is actually pretty good.
I'm trying to remember 0. I remember the train, like, is the thing I remember the most. I haven't played that since I played on GameCube. But I was just excited to have like a really amazing looking game on GameCube.
Yeah, I mean, it was the smart thing to do with the Resident Evil engine after they did the 1 remake. I mean, it's just more of the same, and it was a new. It was a combination of like, okay, Rebecca, fine, yeah, sure. Like, here's what's happening before Resident Evil, but at the same time, it was just like, okay, like, I don't really care about any of these other characters they're introducing here because nobody else pops up later in the series. And just again, just the frustration with how difficult it was.
It was difficult. Code Veronica is difficult too, though.
It is, but like I said, I really enjoyed the difficulty of the Resident Evil games. 0 just was off-putting to me.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I can see that. I definitely like I wish they would have made like JRPGs in that engine. Could you imagine? Like,
I mean,
I would have like squealed if they did that back in the day.
They could just do a Resident Evil JRPG. That would have been pretty cool.
That'd be fine too. But I just like Final Fantasy X in that engine. And Final Fantasy X is great, but you know, I don't know.
Would have been pretty sick.
It'd be cool. It'd be cool. All right, Jess.
I have played all of the mainline games, including 0.
Mhm.
And then I've played Revelations 1 and 2. And I remember playing part of Code Veronica, but I don't think I ever finished it. I think that was one that we rented and I never got to the end of.
Oh.
I think
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, I think you'd like it. I mean, it's my favorite one, but
Oh, I'm sure I would. I've just never gotten around to going back and finishing it. I don't even really remember it all that well. I just remembered that we had it at one point, and I never got all the way through it.
I have to wonder if they'll remake it at some point.
You have to think at some point.
It's
right?
apparently become a cult classic. Like, that's the impression that I get, that people appreciate it now after some time's passed.
It's still one of my favorites. I mean, it's probably 4. I mean, we'll get to it later, but like 4, 2, and Code Veronica right there. Like,
cool. I didn't realize you liked it that much. That's cool.
Yeah.
Those are all 3 amazing. I mean, those, we'll get to it later, but yeah, those are all fantastic.
Apart from the one whiny character, it's pretty great.
Wait,
Steve or whatever his name is.
Okay, it's such a great beginning in that cell too.
Yeah. I mean, definitely. I mean, I had a Dreamcast. I was a huge fan of the Dreamcast. You know that. But like,
me too.
There was something about seeing a Resident Evil game. I was like, hey, we got full 3D backgrounds here. Like the camera is moving. This is incredible.
Yeah. No, I was telling everyone to get a Dreamcast. I loved the Dreamcast. I was like the Dreamcast's biggest supporter. And then Sega was like, actually, we're going to not do that anymore.
Yeah.
And my friends were like, good thing we didn't get one. Because, but I love the Dreamcast. I still love the Dreamcast.
Yeah.
Mine's still hooked up.
I think you can get Code Veronica for pretty cheap, maybe through like GOG or even Steam. Like it goes on sale pretty regularly.
I couldn't find it on Steam. I searched Resident Evil Code Veronica.
I don't think it's on Steam.
Maybe it's
because I was looking for it recently too.
Maybe I'm thinking maybe it's on the Xbox store. I'm pretty sure
it's on the Xbox store.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm looking at good old games now. Ooh, they have Final Fantasy VII on the top. That's nice. Even if the version is terrible so far. Okay. Code Veronica is also not on GOG, so it must be Xbox.
Must be. Nope. Again, I think you can get it pretty cheap most of the time. It goes on sale pretty regularly, and I want to say it's like, I don't know, like maybe as cheap as $4.99 or $2.99, something like that from time to time.
Yeah. On Xbox, I've definitely seen it go down. And like the app on your computer, not because everything's an Xbox. Oh, it's not on the Xbox store, Jack, on the computer. I just looked it up. Code Veronica's not there.
It might just be on the Xbox itself.
It must just be on the Xbox itself. Well, that's a bummer.
Yeah. Oh well.
Remake it, Capcom.
Or
for
at
the
least
memories.
release it.
Or at least, let us play it.
I mean, I don't know what else they would remake at this point.
It's true.
One again.
I mean, unless you're going back to one again, but like we don't need 5 or 6.
It's true. Man, I don't even get me started on 6. Although we will talk about it later.
Later.
So the best way to play it on PC is the PS3 version, the PS3 HD remaster through the PS3 emulator. Which, by the way, I tried out our PS3 or whatever the hell it's called this week. Mm-hmm. That emulator is amazing now. Holy crap! It used to be difficult to emulate the PS3. I just and there's like a thing you put your disc in, and you can rip the game because don't steal them, kids. But I put like my disc in and ripped the disc, and like I was super impressed at how well it ran. And how it reminded me like kind of like a Dolphin, how amazing Dolphin's such a good emulator, right?
Yeah.
I played some College Hoops 2K9 because that's like the last one that came out, and in 144 frames a second instead of like 25.
Wow.
The PS3 version is really bad frame rate.
That's awesome.
Anyway, it's not a bad experience now. Improved a lot. Okay, so we got through that. Logan, which ones have you played?
Resident Evil 0.
There is one called Resident Evil.
Wait, there is?
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
Goodness. Okay.
Yeah, it's the prequel. That's the prequel. Yeah, it's the GameCube. It's one of the GameCube ones. It's super hard. Honestly, that might be my least. We'll get to it. No, it's not my least favorite. It's one of them though. Which one is the weirdest? Okay, I think this answer might be different from everyone else's. For whatever reason, Village just really didn't jive with me.
Really?
The locate. Yeah, I don't know the characters in it. It was just, and BreakmanX has beaten that game maybe 20 times, and like not exaggerating. He loves Village and plays it over and over again to get like everything, and he's played it through in the hardest difficulties and all of that. And I've tried, to like it. I just, it's like, I recognize that it's a good game and that other people really like it. There's something about the setting and the characters that just to me are not Resident Evil. And it's weird to me.
Yeah, no, I completely get that. Like, there is something about the setting. Like, I totally get what they're going for. They're trying to recapture the European village of Resident Evil 4, right?
Yeah.
But the more lycanthrope-esque enemies, the fact that like your dude gets his hand bitten off like 2 seconds into the game, and then you're just like, what the heck is going on? And it's such a, you're just kind of thrown into the middle of things without really any explanation beyond, hey, there's a castle over there, you should probably try to get to that castle.
Well,
and by the way, half of everybody here is trying to kill you.
And the witch lady, I just don't.
Yeah. I think it definitely does not start off on a good foot, but if you're willing to put the time in and get through that first initial sequence and get to, like, it's kind of like a hub and spoke area, right? Like, you get through the main village and then you go off to the castle, or you go off to the little, machine shop, and there's other things. And like, the game definitely expands out as you keep playing through it. And I think by the end of it, you kind of are invested into it, especially once you get to the main castle and you start, creeping around the castle and trying to stay away from Lady Dimitrescu.
Yeah, she just. I don't like her. There's something about her that is just off-putting.
Well, I think there's, she's the stand-in for Nemesis, right? She's always constantly stalking. She's around every corner, or Mr. X, or whoever you want to call it. Like, that's her stand-in. You've got the original puzzle solving in one of the places, and then you've just got the action sequences with the machine shop. So there's something for everybody that likes Resident Evil without it being Resident Evil 6. And I think that's kind of cool. Don't get me started on the Chris Redfield parts towards the end, though.
Maybe I need to try it again. I don't know. I just, it's just everything about it bumped for me, and I don't completely know why. There was just nothing about it. I mean, I think the gameplay is good. Like, I think it's a well-designed game. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. There's just something personally for me. It just didn't, because I usually like witch-like characters in games. They're usually, I think, like some of the ones I really prefer. Witches and vampires both, I think, are excellent game characters. So I'm like kind of surprised that, she's not like a classic witch. I'm kind of surprised that I don't think it's a cool villain, but there's just something about it. I just don't like it. I don't know. I wish I did, because it's super popular.
Yeah. Again, I really liked it, but it's not my top, but it's in the top half.
See, I'm much closer to you on that, Matt, in that it's not my favorite. And I think for me, it's because I actually really loved all of the villains and all of the characters, and I didn't feel like we got to spend any time with them.
Yeah.
It felt like weirdly paced in a way that, I don't know, I never settled into anything and I never got invested.
Maybe
I think that's my problem with it personally.
That might be my problem. You might have put on the pulse.
Like the only person you really get to know about is the shopkeeper, and you're just like, I really don't want to hang out with you at all.
Yeah, he's not interested. I don't like him at all. He's just weird.
You're not the important person here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that might be it. That's a good point. All right, Jack, which one is the weirdest for you?
Ooh, so for me, I think it's the first Resident Evil Revelations. For whatever
DS
reason.
One?
The DS and
3DS.
The 3DS one, and it came out on other platforms after that. But yeah, it's weird. Like, it's kind of episodic the way Revelations 2 is, but it's not. It's kind of a prequel before Resident Evil 5, but it's also not. It's just kind of weird. The enemies are weird. There's zombies, but there's also not zombies. Like most Resident Evil games, you get to play as Barry for a little bit, which is kind of fun, but it's mainly Jill and these, like the BSAA, the organization that Chris and Jill are part of around Resident Evil 5 time. And so it serves as a prequel to Resident Evil 5, but it's also just kind of the boat, everything with that just feels off for some reason. I can't put my finger on it, but it just, I knew what they were trying to do with Resident Evil Revelations. They were trying to fit it onto the 3DS, and I just don't think it really doesn't stand well on its own. if that makes sense.
I can see that too.
Mhm.
That one was pretty short too, wasn't it?
It was short. It was
Yeah.
weird. I
haven't
think the
played it since
episodic nature of it was just kind of weird. The way it bounced around in time was just very weird to me.
I really liked the 3DS hardware. I
Mhm.
thought it was a really cool system, and that's why I liked that game. I think was probably that it was on the 3DS because it was kind of a cool experience to play that on a handheld.
Yeah, for sure. But
I
aiming
get the
was
weirdness.
terrible with the nub.
Yeah, the nub. Yeah. All right, Jess, what's the weirdest for you?
I think I'm going to go with Resident Evil 5. There were some choices made in the setup of 5 that I don't think they would make again if they were to try to make that game in 2026. But it also contains just, I think, one of the most hilarious but baffling moments in a video game, which is Chris just punching a boulder.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I didn't get to that point,
It's so insane.
but I've
It's
seen
so
the video.
great. It is so great.
It's so great. It's so great.
That's
But
up there.
It's insane.
That's up there with
Oh, yeah.
Tidus laughing in Final Fantasy X. Ha 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 ha. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so weird. The punching of the I give you that. Again, I didn't.
Yeah, for
Play
context, Logan, there's a sequence in which you need to like get past this boulder, and the response of the character is to just like repeatedly punch it.
Beautiful.
And it's towards the end of the
until it
game
moves.
too.
That's how you defeat boulders.
Yeah.
It doesn't damage his hand at all
Yes.
either.
Nope. No.
Really?
Nope.
You think
No.
you
Because he's
break
Chris
your
Redfield.
knuckle.
Of course not.
Well, what's interesting, like being a video game that was like an iterative thing where multiple people play tested it. There was all sorts of and like no one was like punching a boulder, or maybe people were.
Else they shouldn't have.
Yeah. I
Completely
mean,
They
logical.
should have left it in.
you're fighting Wesker in the middle of a volcano. I mean, why not? Just let's punch
Yeah,
some boulders. Let's just get this all out of the way.
It's a video game moment for sure.
Oh yeah.
I
Oh,
love
yeah.
it. I would love to have been in the room where the person came up with the idea. And presumably the other person in the room went, yes.
It's brilliant. Let's
Like-
do it.
Love it.
Yeah.
Sugoi. All right. So,
Mhm.
which one is our favorite? I've already talked about mine. My favorite is definitely Code Veronica.
Mhm.
And part of it is the memory, but also like I really loved the Dreamcast. Like Jack was
Yeah.
saying, like I was a huge. I thought the Dreamcast was awesome. And so playing a new Resident Evil game on the Dreamcast when I didn't really know anyone that had one, and I also was like I saved up for like a long time, my own money to buy it and all that, and
Mhm.
so having graphics that were so much better than the previous Resident Evil games, I think, is part of it. But it also just had a really nice atmosphere to it that I really liked. Enough. The first time I played it, I somehow got stuck on that boss right before the disc change.
Yeah,
I ran out of
yeah.
ammo or something. We had to go through it again. And even then,
Well, it was tough. Like you could soft lock that game
yeah,
in that fight. Like it was easy to get soft locked there and had to start over.
it was made me pissed.
Yeah.
But it's hard. It's really hard. Like for me, it might be the hardest of the Resident Evil games. Like there's some difficulty there, and
For sure.
had a lot of nice scares to it. And I think just the Dreamcast probably aided that. But BreakmanX and I played it in the basement with the lights off, with like the speakers up loud.
Mhm.
So it aided all of that. So yeah, just a great time and place. I haven't
Nice.
played it again, except in just very brief spurts
Mhm.
since then. I would love to play it again, but I'm kind of waiting to see if they remake it.
Understandable.
So
I have to imagine it's coming at some point. It's other than one, it's the one they need to probably remake the most.
yep. And it seems like it's liked now. For a long time, people would kind of laugh at it.
I don't get that. Like, it's a good game. It's a really good Resident Evil game.
I think maybe because it was on the Dreamcast, and then the port was the PS2 port bad. I never played the PS2 port.
PS2 port was fine. Like, I don't think there were any problems with it. And it's like I said, they've got the Xbox 360 and the PS3 versions that came out, so they're fine.
But yeah, if you haven't played it, you should give it a try. It's really cool. For me, it has everything that makes Resident Evil fun.
And if you're a fan of Alfred Hitchcock movies, there's a lot there for you too.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's not Alfred Hitchcock, but I love when you walk into the exam room and the guy's like eating like the guy, like his chest, like the dead guy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was a great scene. Again, I don't like zombies, but some about Resident Evil that I just it's okay. All right, Jack, what's your favorite?
Yeah, so I don't think this is a shock to anybody, but my favorite is the Resident Evil 4 original from the GameCube. I tell you what, I've played that game on so many different platforms. I played it through GameCube, PS2, Xbox 360, mobile, virtual reality. I've played through it on Xbox 360. I think I already said that. Like PC, I've played it numerous places. And I don't think I've regretted any one. I think that's probably the Resident Evil game I've beaten the most as well. Something about that game, the action, the constant tension with you. One of the things I think I like the most about Resident Evil 4, and one of the reasons that I'll be honest, if you've been watching my Resident Evil 2 remake playthroughs, like I'm kind of a scaredy cat when it comes to a lot of these games, especially
it's great. It makes them more
horror
fun.
games. Yeah, like I don't like going into a room where I know like something big is coming up. I'm like, oh god, let me take all the healing items, let me take all the ammo, and hopefully we'll get through this thing okay. With Resident Evil 4, it's just like run, turn around, shoot a few guys, and hope you keep making it. And then at some point, like especially like the first sequence in the village where you are just trying to survive for so long when the chainsaw guy's coming after you, something about just sitting on top of one of the roofs and pot shotting people's legs to keep them from coming after you is really, really satisfying. And like I could just do that, I won't say all day, but there's something really satisfying to it when you're just like, you have like the entire village that's coming from around the corner and you're just like, nope, I'm just going to keep kneecapping all of you. And then maybe I'll throw a grenade in there.
You mentioned that back in the day too. So of all the different platforms, what's the best one to play it on?
I mean, I think the GameCube is probably the best place to play the original on. Any of the other, the PS2 port is not great, but any of the other ones are perfectly serviceable. There is still value in going back and playing that 2005 version. It holds up really well.
Yeah. Those games upscaled look amazing because the remasters are awesome because you get the higher res everything, but there's just always something a little off with them, except for the Metroid Prime one because that's perfect. But I will say the RE4, the original, if you play it now, it does look a little washed out on modern platforms, especially the PC. But by and large, yes, you're correct. Did you play the Wii one?
Mm-hmm. Did play it on the Wii. I did not motion controls, but I did aim the Wiimote to shoot. And that was fine.
Yeah, I'm so glad I don't have to do that anymore.
Is there a remake of the original one on Switch?
I think you can get the RE4 remake on Switch.
Okay.
I think so.
I'm looking it up because
if 7 and 8 are on there, I have to imagine 4 is.
Resident Evil.
I would think.
Come on. Oh, Nintendo's making me type in my freaking birthday. Scary. Super scary. Jess has been playing it. She was 8, Nintendo. Yeah, the Resident Evil, the original remake is on there. And then we were asking about 4 though, right?
Yeah, the 4 remake.
Yeah. Resident Evil 4 remake is on there as well.
Yeah, you can definitely get the original.
No, it's the original.
Okay.
Yeah.
The remaster of the original.
Would you recommend starting with the original or 4? Or which one?
Like I said, I think the original RE4, the original holds up really well, even by today's standards. So I think you'd be perfectly fine jumping in there. You could start with RE1, but I think 4 is going to be much more of a modern style game. Like
4 is a
behind
masterpiece.
the behind the back, it makes tank controls make so much more sense.
I mean,
Gotcha.
Code Veronica is my favorite, but like I think 4 is the best game.
Yeah.
As much as I like Code Veronica, I think.
Also, you get the best version of Little Lord Fauntleroy in that game.
You do.
Like,
You do.
say what you will about the remake, but man, they really did not do. God, what is his name? I can't remember the little lord's name, but like,
Yeah, what is his name?
I'll have to think about it. But yeah, he is way better of a character in the
Osmond
original
Sadler.
RE4. No, that's the bad guy. That's the big
Oh.
bad.
No, Matt Sadler.
Salazar.
What is his
Salazar.
name? Salazar. Okay.
Yeah.
It was right there. Yep.
Salazar is.
Oh, he's great.
Max got it too before we said it.
He's such a little. Oh, it's great. And I'm not, since if you're gonna play it, Logan, I'm not gonna spoil a whole bunch with that game, but there is one moment that is super satisfying that you're just like, oh yeah, no, Leon's kind of a badass, and this guy is not prepared to deal with it.
Oh,
Yep.
that's the game that
great.
made me love Leon.
I mean, same. Like Leon
most
is just
people
kind
love
of
him.
like idiot cop idiot rookie cop in the first game, and by the time you get to 4, you're like, oh, he's seen some shit this time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, Jess, your turn. What's your fave?
Well, I'm in agreement. I'm in agreement about 4. I like the original better. Partially because Salazar, I do think is just so much better in the original. I also just feel like it nails the tone of Resident Evil that I love so much, which is all of this crazy stuff is happening. You're running for your life, and then Leon just does the lamest one-liner that you can possibly imagine. And it is beautiful. The "Where's everybody going?" bingo is one of my favorite voice lines in a video game ever to this day. And I love it so much. And I will say, I think in the remake, they kept more of that than I thought they were going to.
Yeah.
I was worried they were going to try to make it like too serious and gritty, and they didn't nerf it in a way that I was concerned about. But it's just perfect in the original. So I personally like the original better, with the caveat of they made Ashley so much better in the remake, though.
Yeah, they did.
She is so much more bearable. I actually like her in the remake, and in the original, she is the bane of my existence.
I think they made Luis better too in the remake.
Yes,
he's
I would agree with that as
insufferable
well.
in the first one.
I would agree with that as well. I will say that Luis, I at least at times found funny.
Yeah.
In the original.
Yep.
And as much as I hate to say it, like there really just are no redeeming qualities of Ashley in the original. She just kind of.
It's like, hey, go hide in this dumpster, please. Don't get carried
out
off.
of my way,
Don't get
or
carried
I will
off. Come on.
Get you again.
Yeah. Yep.
So I will say that I have to be willing to deal with Ashley if I'm going to do the OG, which I'm not always in the mood to do. But I would say that for me, like the remake and the original are like neck and neck, because I do think the remake was like really well done.
Yeah.
But there's just something in that original version that, and it's mostly the voice lines. It's mostly the corniness that I love of it. It's just so perfect in 4. I think they nailed that tone in 4 better than any of the other games.
Agreed.
Again, was the
100%.
GameCube exclusive for a year. Cool. Go GameCube. Team GameCube still. All right. So best jump scare.
There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them.
There's so many.
Honestly,
many.
7 is probably the scariest for me. I really have to think about it. But my favorite jump scare are the dogs at the beginning of Code Veronica.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because again, it goes to that because they're pretty unexpected at that time, and it made both of us scream and jump. So
Yeah.
she still remembers it. She still talks about the dogs.
No, I can only imagine. Yeah, mine. So I with a very close second place of the dogs crashing through the windows in the original Resident Evil.
Oh yeah,
That just scared the bejesus out of me. Like me and all my friends as we were playing it that first night, we all just like jumped and were like, "Oh my god," because we were not prepared for that. But my all-time favorite is in the RE2 remake. There's a section where you're trying to get past. It's after Mr. X shows up and he starts chasing you around. There's a section where like there's a few choke points where there's only one hallway to go through to get from one place to another. And if you know about Mr. X and the mechanics around him, there are certain doors and rooms he won't go in because essentially the game put boundaries on him where he can't block you in. Like you have to have an exit or otherwise he won't come get you. So there's a part where you think you're kind of safe because you're blocked into a corner and there's an item you have to get. And even if he's not chasing you, you start going back the other way. And all of a sudden he just bursts through the wall like the Kool-Aid man. And you're just like, oh my God, he's here. Oh no, what do I do? And like, for whatever reason in my playthrough I'm going through right now, I completely forgot about it. And when he bursts through the room on my playthrough, I was just like, oh God. And then I was like, oh, I remember this. But still, like it scared the crap out of me because I had no items. I was not prepared to deal with them. And next thing I knew, I was just running for my life.
So should our audience should our audience know which one it is?
Know which one what is?
Which of your playthroughs, which episode of your playthroughs that's in so they can go check it out?
I want to say it's in part 5. I'm pretty sure it's in part 5 because I just got out of the police station in the last one I did. So I think it's either late part 4 or early part 5. I've got to go back and look, but yeah, it scared the crap out of me. It just pops out. I'm like, no, not here. It's so
Spooky.
good.
We're gonna go ahead and jump because we want to make sure we get through this last one of who's where to start.
Yeah,
because we need to make sure that Logan knows where to start, or at least what our opinions are. So I struggled with this one, and Jess, good idea. I struggled with this one because there's a few that I kept going back and forth to say. I really wanted to say 4, to be honest with you, just because I think it's the best made game. But just everything taken into account, I think 2 remake is the best place to start because it looks fabulous. And it does a really nice job of taking things that were great about 2, but really modernizing everything. And Mr. X, speaking of Mr. X, is just really flippin' terrifying in that game. Like, he's really scary. Like, Tara, he will haunt your dreams.
Like what I mean, I think Jess and I are both in agreement with you here on this one. Like, I don't think they're like, yes, you're right. The only other acceptable answer to this would be 4, but RE2 is it. If you want to care about the lore, if you want to care about the series at all, 2 is probably the best jumping in point. But yeah, something about Mr. X, like, yes, it's a tyrant, but at the same time, he just the trench coat and the top and like the fedora he's got on is just
it's scary.
You see him pop out from behind that helicopter and you're just like, uh-oh, what do I have to do now?
I mean, he looks like he could kill you by looking at you.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
He's terrifying.
It's the dead eyes, right?
Yeah. So be prepared to be afraid.
Yeah, but it's so cool. Like you can hear him walking around, even when he's not like right on you. Like you hear him walking around, and it's cool the way they just kind of like, not to get too far into it, but like the first, I don't know, hour, 2 hours of the game, you're just kind of going around popping zombies. Like you're like, okay, I can finally get the handle of this. Sure, there's going to be zombies. Oh, there might be a licker around the corner or something like that. No big deal. But then all of a sudden you've got this thing and now he's chasing you and nothing you have in your arsenal can stop him. It's like, okay, I've got to start thinking about how I make my way around the police station.
Well, and
now.
the way he walks too. There's something about the way he walks at you too that's like he's unstoppable.
Yeah. But yeah, no, definitely start
He's
with
right behind you.
Start with the 2 remake and then go from there if that is fun. Like beyond 2, I would say if you really like the RE2 remake, RE3 remake is okay. It'll get you a little bit more flavor because it reuses some of the same environments.
What about the RE1 remake?
I mean, I think it's good. There's definitely shortcomings with it. Again, like just from a gameplay mechanics space, I think it leaves a lot to be desired. Like you still have to do the manual aiming up and the manual aiming down, which really is annoying.
It's actually pretty faithful to the original too.
For sure. But I think just modern controls, free aim, I think is where it's at. And just,
I also
go ahead.
No, you go ahead and finish.
Oh, I was gonna say also just the interactivity of the zombies, like being able to shoot a guy in the leg and have him kind of lean down or shooting him anywhere else and having it react is way better than just aiming up and hoping you get a headshot. Even like you're aiming up at a 45-degree angle and the zombie's like 5 feet away from you and somehow you're still shooting it in the head. Like even on the GameCube, that should have been fixed quite a bit. Sorry, go ahead, Jess.
No, I was just going to say from a story world perspective as well, I don't think there's really all that much you're going to get from 1 that you don't get from 2. Yeah. There's backstory, of course, to understand, but you can Google that. I think if you're going to pick 1, you're going to get more out of the story in the world from 2 than you are from 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. 1, yeah. 2 is much better than 1, too, I think, just in general.
I think if you play 1, you kind of have to jump straight to 5. And I don't know if you want to make that jump.
You don't want to play 5.
Oh, I can't recommend that.
Yeah.
I do, however, have a somewhat controversial recommendation as well on this.
Okay.
Which is if you don't want to actually sink into Resident Evil in a long form kind of way, I think Resident Evil 7 is also a decent place to jump in.
Yeah.
Especially if you're far more interested in the straight up horror aspect of the games. I think 2 does a good job with the balancing the horror and the action elements. Mm-hmm. But 7, you are thrown in. There's only 1 character to play, and you are not a fighter.
Yeah.
Ethan is so not a fighter, and so it's much more terrifying, I think. And then if you want the fully contained story there, all you got to play is 7 and 8. And so if the entirety of Resident Evil feels overwhelming, I'm not recommending this to you, Logan. You need to play all of it. But for anyone that is not interested in going down the rabbit hole of Resident Evil and wants a shorter experience, I think 7, 8 is a decent combo.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
And 7 is scary as hell. It will scare you.
I think 7 is legit the most scary Resident Evil.
There's things in that game that will scare the living crap out of you.
Yeah.
Yep.
It scared me pretty bad.
Yeah, I've beaten that once, and I have not desired to go back to it.
So this is a little bit of a tangent, but as someone who has not played any of these games before, would you recommend keyboard and mouse or controller?
Controller.
Controller.
Okay.
Yeah.
Controller.
Cool.
You can totally play mouse and keyboard, but it's made for a controller.
I don't think it would be terrible with a keyboard and mouse.
Yeah.
But,
it's something I like to check.
Yeah. I prefer controller in general. So if you prefer mouse and keyboard, you might especially have a better time with it.
I will say if you like aiming, if you like fine aim control though, definitely mouse keyboard, because ammo scarcity is a problem in some of the games.
All of the games. Most of the games.
I would also say most of the games. I would also say if you're if you jump scare easily, I think it's easier to keep hold of the controller and run than it is to mess with the mouse and keyboard.
Yeah, sure.
Speaking of this, okay, so now we've done this. Let's go back to Jess's favorite jump scare. What's your favorite jump scare?
So there were so many to pick from, but because I've already been like a little mean to Resident Evil 8, and I will be a little mean to it again later, I did want to highlight the one part of that game that I thought was like really great, and that was that weird baby monster thing.
Oh yeah,
that you had to fight at the dollhouse. That thing was horrifying.
Yeah,
I hated that so much. I hated the model for it. It was so weird, and you had lost all of your ammo and your weapons, and so all you could do was run. It felt very kind of like, I don't know, Outlast adjacent to me.
Like Outlast or Amnesia.
Yeah. And so I did like really appreciate it. It was the one moment in that game that I was like, oh no, what do I do? Which is my favorite part of the games. So I want to give Resident Evil 8 credit for that one.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. All right, so we can end here. Do you want to end with favorite character, or is there a different one that you guys want to end with here?
Ooh, I think favorite character is probably a good one to end on.
Well, I'm gonna go with Leon.
Yeah.
In Resident Evil 4, especially because you get this kind of cool narrative arc with him, where in 2 he's, again, like you mentioned before, this naive cop. And then by 4, he's like this like rockin' like CIA agent or whatever, like really cool. And he's like, he rocks the like almost Tom DeLonge 2004 haircut from like Blink-182. And and he's just cool. Like he's fun to play as. I love the way he holds the gun. Just in general, I like his personality. The corny one-liners that Jess was mentioning too is also a big plus. But just in terms of like wanting to play like as a character, he's probably the one that I gravitate towards the most.
Yeah, Leon's. I think he is at this point the quintessential Resident Evil character. I mean, he is the main protagonist of the Resident Evil franchise now, especially now that he's got his 3rd game. So I'm very excited to see kind of where they go from there, because in Resident Evil 4, he's suplexing bad guys. He is roundhouse kicking heads off. Like, I cannot wait to just plow through his sections with that little hatchet and just go to town on a whole bunch of zombies.
Yes.
Should be pretty satisfying.
Yeah.
But let's see. I think my favorite character, again, going back to Resident Evil 4, is the shopkeeper. I mean,
you gotta do his line.
What are you buying? What are you selling?
Yeah.
It's so great. It's so great. It's just, you just get the sense that this guy is just such a dirtbag, and he is out there just, he's like, hey, I know you're just killing everybody around here, and these guys aren't my people. So like, hey, why don't I just try to make some money on the side and check out all the guns I've got in my coat. It's just, I cannot wait. I can't, sorry. It's not that I can't wait. He is just by far, after I get done playing Resident Evil 2 Remake, I think the next game I'm going to play is either the original or the remake. Probably just the original, just because of all the stuff we've talked about. There's just so much in that game. It's so stupid and so fun. And the shopkeeper, like, for me, just I crack up every time I see him.
Yep, you always have.
Yep.
Which is great. Yeah. And Jess, who's your favorite character?
So mine's also Leon. Typically, when I answer this question, I try to like reach for something a little bit more obscure, but Leon might be my favorite video game character, like full stop. He's definitely like in top 3. I love him so much. He's such a dork. I love his unnecessary backflips away from chainsaws. Like, it's just so ridiculous. And I will say, in anticipation for the new one, I went back and I watched all 4 of the mainline animated movies.
Okay, yeah.
And I would highly suggest it, especially if you're a fan of Leon. The first one, The first one is Degeneration is
That's
was
the one
made in
with, like,
2008.
yeah, that's the one with like the plane crash or the airport sequence. Or am I?
Yep. The
okay.
airport thing. Yeah. I had a great time with it because of how horrible it was, but it is bad. But the new one, Death Island, I think I hadn't seen, and I watched for the first time.
Okay.
And it's a lot of fun. It's Leon, Chris, Jill, and Rebecca.
Okay.
On Alcatraz for whatever reason. But it's just more of the great characters, and I had a lot of fun with it. But
awesome.
Yeah, no, Leon's great, and I appreciate seeing the like evolution of him
Mm-hmm.
from the naive rookie cop to in 4 he's like seeing some shit, and then this new one he's really seen some shit. He is done with everything.
Yeah.
In ways that I'm very curious to see how that plays out. And I'm very curious and hopeful, but not too hopeful, that Ada will show up. Because one of my favorite things about Leon is the dynamic with Ada specifically.
I specifically haven't mentioned RE6 just because of clone Ada, but like you have to get really deep into that story, which a lot of people didn't, to understand where that kind of goes. But yes, I hope she shows up too. Like, we'll see.
And if she doesn't, I mean, who's going to throw him the rocket launcher?
Hunnigan.
If she's not there. Yeah. But it's just better if it's Ada.
True.
All right. Well, this was fun. Resident Evil time. Now I want to go play some Resident Evil, like all the Resident Evils. Especially 4.
Mm-hmm.
Especially 4. But Jack,
yes.
What are you going to do this week besides...
This week I'm probably going to be hunkered up in a hotel room most of the time. But I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to try to get my Steam Deck and Resident Evil Requiem and make some time to play a little bit of that when I can. If I'm going to be stuck in a hotel room, I might as well try to make the best of it, right?
Yes. I hope you enjoy it. And Jess, how about you?
Just Resident Evil this weekend. Hopefully checking out that Stardew Valley Symphony stream as well. I'm very excited for that. And then more of the same, just more work, but hopefully after Resident Evil.
Awesome. And Logan, how many Resident Evils are you going to play this week?
We'll see. I definitely want to start with 2 now, based on what you all have said.
I look forward to seeing what you think.
Yes.
I hope you eventually play 4, though.
Oh, yeah. 4 is the one I've heard the most about. So it's definitely one I want to hit. But I appreciate the recommendations, and the 2 seems a good starting point.
Yeah,
awesome.
And I will say it's on Resident Evil 2 is on sale on Steam right now for $10.
Oh, hey, that's pretty good. Otherwise, my brother and I are going to keep playing multiplayer Subnautica this weekend. We're going to go hunt the cuttlefish in the in the deep sea Degassi base, which is going to be fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Well, I hope you find him.
Thanks.
And I'm stoked to play some more Resident Evil and Requiem especially. And I'll see you same time next week on the Game Show.